Hello, everyone. Welcome to the replay and welcome live. I'm Kristen at Good Knit Kisses, and of course, I'm an online crafting instructor with Good Knit Kisses, and I'm a wife and mom of 3 under now 11. We just had a birthday here, and I teach how to knit and crochet, knit with needles or on the loom, crafting and review videos for tools and things. So welcome, and also if you're here for the business stuff, I wrote my own patterns as well as on my own blog. I also work for companies and I've written my own book, and I'm passionate about inspiring and encouraging and empowering people through education and design to reach your goals. And so if you need help with your new crafty business, say you're just making items to sell online or in person, or if you want to start learning how to do stuff online, how to teach online, if you need tips for making videos on YouTube or another video platform, I'd be happy to help you as much as I can. If you have regular business questions too, that's fine. On Friday, we had to welcome, I've seen we have about 5 people so far. Thanks for hopping on. Tell me where you're from. Type where you're from, let me know so I can say hi. And but Friday, I actually had a question, more of a business type of question. I wasn't expecting to get that, but that's very good. So I can continue on with that or kind of give you a recap. I know some people may have not joined me because it was more of a social media day. So if this is your first time watching me, be sure to type in the chat new. And if you're back, just give me like a love button that you came before. Let's see. Okay, how do I find courage to approach shop owners to sell my wares? That is a good question, Jane. Hey, Ellie DeVito, South New Jersey, and you've come on before too. Jane, that's an excellent question. It depends on where you are in your business if you're just starting. Now, if you have pictures of your work, I would suggest a great portfolio, whether that you choose to make that a digital one or one that you can leave with them. I hesitate to say leave anything. I actually have a friend who does floral design, and she has a neat way of making albums on her iPad. And so I would suggest maybe taking your pictures of your work, make sure that the background is nice. And actually, if you'll go on Etsy.com and look at their forums, there's some great tips and things for wonderful photos that are very sellable. And so if you'll look at those will be good tips to carry on to like regular shops, even locally to you. So you make a little digital album of your best work, and you could even have a listing to the side of like what the prices would be, suggested retail, and then a suggested wholesale price. Like have that already down in like a spreadsheet. And if you have a certain name for a hat, I would suggest even like when you have the image of the hat in your portfolio, put like the name of that item, and even if you have like an item number, and that would be super helpful. So the more prepared you can to give a sort of proposal to someone, that would be excellent. If you can come up with sort of a cover letter, even to give to somebody that you've just talked to, because what that does is that gives them, of course, your name, your business, or if it's right underneath your name, that's fine too, and it gives them your pertinent information for contact, and it gives kind of an overview of what you've done, just sort of a business cover greeting letter, and the things that you can provide for them or what you're proposing to do for them. Some people do stuff on consignment where they give them a whole heap of items to sell, and so it really depends on your relationship. But one thing you can do is start by wooing the shop owners by calling and get to know them, by coming by, just kind of shopping the store and seeing how their customers behave and how they interact in the store. Really getting to know those shop owners, the different clerks and people at the sales counter, as well as the ones helping people. Getting to know how that works. I mean, it depends on your area and how much time you have, but really getting to know their business and then be able to solve a business problem for you. If you can solve a pain point for someone in their business or in life, and like tell them that you recognize that, say like, it seems to me you guys may have trouble with such and such, and I have a remedy for this. I think that if you sold this, this would fit something that people who would normally buy from here, and then they would sell, and then you could sell this, like say, okay, you do all these baby items, but you're not selling this one particular type of product. I think if you added this to the line, it'd be great, and I have that for you, and I can give you a great price. Okay, so yeah, possibly wear one of your items when you go in, Ellie. That's very good. I've done that too. In fact, like when I was selling my necklaces, I would wear them. Like after I made them, I actually wore them just to make sure that everything was good to go. I mean, I was pretty sure, but it was good because walking around, I would get compliments and say, this is actually for sale in my Etsy shop or whatever. So, and then that was a good way, way to do it. So Jane, does that help you at all? And when you're more confident, you can also talk in the mirror to yourself. You can film yourself, even if you're never going to be on video. One thing is just to pretend like you're talking to that person and film yourself and see what you look like. Like, you don't need to be shy with yourself because you're the only one who's going to look at it. So if you need to pitch the idea, like giving the idea to yourself on video before you go out and talk to somebody and get the kind of nerves out, then I would totally suggest doing that. With technologies these days, it's so much easier to become comfortable. Okay, so Jane, let me know if that's good. If anybody liked that, give me some hearts. If you have other questions, please type them in. Welcome to everyone who's new. Be sure and type in new if you're new to the live. If you've been here before, be sure and let me know too and tell me where you're from. Let's see, so last week we talked about taxes and setting up your business, just to kind of reproach. Oh, good. Got a little heart there. Just to kind of go back and recap, I was asked about permits and things. I did an assumed name in my state. I'm in the United States in Texas. And so I went and got an assumed name and legally. And what they do is they check a database to make sure there's no other names by that name. And of course that's locally, statewide, and I think it checked nationwide. And I think I spent like $30 for it. It really wasn't much. And it could have been even less. And then I went and got my tax ID set up, which is a different thing. And I think I even signed up for it online. And I may have missed saying that on Friday. And then I also consulted with the CPA, finding out who I would need to talk to, and he said, well, once I kind of have some business stuff going along, then we would change my approach if needed and that kind of thing. I also set up shop on Etsy. I suggest reading all of the forums and things if you're going online and selling for the first time. Go and check out the different ones. Do your research. Google and see what is the best place to sell my work. I touched a little bit on how cool Ravelry and Etsy are as far as VAT taxes go and sales tax. So when I set up my sales tax, I can set it up for, and I have to do this in PayPal too, I tell it that anything in Texas needs to get this percentage of tax added to it. And then they determine that for me, and then they charge it appropriately, so anyone outside of the state doesn't get charged. But if anyone needs the European VAT tax, I forget what VAT stands for, but if someone needs to be charged that, those services handle it. But Craftsy doesn't. So Craftsy, I like Craftsy. If you don't know what Craftsy is, it's craft and then SY. Basically, they have classes. They have free and paid classes. They're excellent. They're well produced. I know I have classes. I don't mind recommending other people who do classes, but they're excellent, and you can see them on different platforms, like you can see them tablet or phone or on your laptop or desktop, and also on Apple TV, which is not an actual TV. If you don't know what that is, it's a little box that allows your TV to see different apps. So anyway, you can see your stuff when you log in. But Craftsy, they have the ability, if you're a designer, to sell your goods or sell your patterns on there, or do free patterns. Yeah, love Craftsy. Yeah, Jane, they're excellent. I don't sell on there for a big reason, because I have gotten that. Thank you, Ellie. Value added tax. That cleared my brain. So, but the thing about Craftsy is, you don't know who is who's going to be purchasing, and they're not necessarily in the United States. So if people are going on there because they know me, like I have a global audience. Now, you could go on there today and you don't have some audience or something, but you might make a sale in another country, a digital sale. Well, you know, how do you know it's going to happen? Guaranteed, I know that I'll have a global sale just because if someone recognizes my name, like it's not a puff up thing. It's just that if someone recognizes my name and I'm on Craftsy, they'll probably buy it. Problem is, yeah, gotta love Google. Yeah, the problem is they don't charge that tax and then I am liable for it. Now, when Craftsy started talking about rolling out the program to be able to do it, they gave like this really iffy answer. And I read all the snooze legal jargon. I read it all at the time. And I was not satisfied with what I saw. So I said, okay, I'm not going to do it. And then good morning, Christy. Did Christy hop on? I missed her. Oh, me. I'm Kristen. Maybe you're talking to me. Good morning, Lisa. And sorry, this is a spaz moment. So anyway, they're really iffy. And then I noticed like more and more designers were doing it, and other designers who are loom knitters, and there's some loom knitting on there, and you're welcome to go check it out. I'm trying to remember who all I've seen. I think Hypnotic Hysteria is on there. Amanda is on there. I want to say, if someone correct me, but and there might be a couple other people, and Jenny Stark might be on there. Anyway, somebody correct me. Yeah, my gut says no, because you could choose to not pay that, and I'm not advising that, but what I'm saying is you can get yourself in a lot of trouble, and who wants to do that? Hey, Nikki, welcome. If you guys start noticing replies from Good Knit Kisses, it's going to be from Nikki, because I can't like reply right now. Actually, I might be able to. Let me refresh. And I'm going to go ahead and put, if anybody wants to check it out, I now have instead of just an ebook, I have my print version of the loom knitting guide and patterns, and I'm looking to see for my broadcast here so I can paste it. Let's see if I can paste it. All right, there we go. It should put it in there. Anyway, so the paperback link is in there, and awesome. Hey, Nikki. Anyway, so that's that. And then there's also an ebook available, and it's actually, so if you're ever in it wanting to do publishing, let me know. Doing self-publishing was very hard to learn, and I might actually get into where that I actually help other people publish, and it would be through Good Knit Kisses, and then I would act as a publisher and handle a lot of that stuff, but that'd be in the future, because I did that out of the goodness of wanting to help people, but my husband was like, you need to not do that right now. You have other things to do. So I'm like, okay. But anyway, but the Craftsy stuff selling on there, I didn't want to be out the taxes. But Etsy pays for the tax. Etsy takes care of it. Hey, Louisa. And when she responds, she might be, I think she's an admin too. So it might look like Good Knit Kisses when she writes too. So y'all, Louisa and Nikki, you may have to write Nikki or Louisa when you respond. So, and then Ravelry does that as well. What I love about the Ravelry, I'll tell you some other business things. If you do sell some digital patterns, whether they're free or whatever, the awesome part about Ravelry is that they, when you upload your digital pattern, you can actually go and like, say someone spots a problem with your pattern. And that can happen, okay? You can have testers and everything, but even after that, there might be something, okay? We're all human. Hey, Lisa, welcome. Hello. It's like Mrs. Doubtfire. Woohoo. Anyway, so if there's a problem on Ravelry, what's cool is you can upload a new version. You can delete the old version, or you can upload the new one. You can add files if needed. And yeah, like, so if someone needs an extra schematic and maybe you don't want to redo the whole thing, you just want to add the schematic, you can do that. And you can alert people through their messaging system and also email. I like to choose both because people like to get both, right? Because you don't know who likes what, so you might as well give them that option. So then they can go and check their Ravelry mail or their messaging system when they open it, and then find that they have a new link to the updated pattern, right? Hypnotic is on Ravelry? Okay. I thought somebody else also has, yeah, Hypnotic is on Ravelry, but I want to say someone else was on Craftsy. And then, let's see, what else? But Etsy. Oh, I love Etsy, except for this one feature. The feature is updating people. I think I had this issue when I was trying to send something to Lisa, actually, who's online. So I updated my listing for Etsy, right? It's great. Lets you update the listing. Problem is, the only people who can see it are new customers. So someone who, or new customers to that item. Okay. So if you upload a new thing, that's great. But you can't message people and say, download the new one. Because when they go download it, Etsy's system remembers the old order. And when you click on the old order, it remembers the old item that was attached to that. So the only way to do it is find out their email. Second part of the bad Etsy problem is on all the orders, it doesn't necessarily say what their email is like outright. You have to like right click on them and see if you can like reveal their email, or go into your email system and like search for that order, find them, find their email them, say I've got an updated file, and then send it to them. Or like have a Dropbox to where certain emails are available to get that pattern, and then you email them a link and give them permission to view it. That was you, Lisa. And it was irritating, right? If you could tell anybody your experience, or give a little mad face and tell them if you didn't like it, then tell me, because to me, it was irritating. I didn't like it. I have a kid. I'm sorry. I have a child interrupting me. It is okay, babe.
No, it's not.
Well.
And she's being mean to Alexandra.
Can y'all hear that? Anyway, we have Louisa on here. Okay, Louisa's daughter is spending the night at my house, and the girls are painting their nails in the other room, and one of them has a birthday on Friday, and she got into my closet, and and the other one's tattling, saying, she's in the closet, she's gonna find her present. I'm like, it's okay. Anyway, they're doing the nails on the floor in my bathroom. Update. That's what happens when you work from home. By the way, an online business from home, you will have to deal with the kids. So, yeah, Louisa. So that's how it is. Yeah, we had donuts this morning, and then we made some Scottish shortbread that's cooking right now. So because I'll have to leave here in a little bit and go check on that, and then they're gonna have a little tea party. So that's how it is when you work from home. So yeah, oops. You had trouble with the book. Ellie, what was your trouble? I just noticed that. Let me know. Send me an email too. If it might be easier for us to chat, just email me, Kristen, Kristen, at goodknitkisses.com. If you will send that to me there, I would love it, and see if I can help you. So the book, I have an ebook, and here's something else about the publishing stuff. So I have an ebook. I did it last November. I did a PDF, and it was on Ravelry and Etsy and Gumroad. Gumroad is this other service that allowed me to do like this launch thing, and I was able to send out an extra pattern and all that kind of stuff. And then I had several people go, where's your print book? We want a print book. Well, now it's here. 6 months later, I have a print book here. So I had to check. We'll taste test for you. Oh, yeah. Tell me if you want the recipe. I got the recipe. See if I have it memorized. Yeah, I have it memorized. Yes. And anyway, anybody want an authentic Scottish shortbread recipe? It makes a really good one. It's really good for like tea and biscuits if you're British. If you want, yeah, have a little tea party for the kids. But it's like a light. It's like a sugar cookie, but it's thicker, and it's not as sugary, but it is buttery. So anyway, but as far as the book goes, so I published this on my own. It has an ISBN number, and so the PDF still functions on the other stuff, but you can actually buy a Kindle version, and the Kindle version it like changes the size if you change the font size or the screen size or something. And so it looks different. I don't actually like the Kindle version. They just make me upload it in a certain way, but I prefer selling people the PDF that I have control over, just because I'm there to serve you and respond easier. Because when you buy it outside of me in the system, it makes it harder for me to like do customer service for you. And then, oh, I had trouble with the second edition. I did have to send it to you through email. Etsy is dumb that way. Are you fat fingered? Yeah. Okay. Yes, Etsy is dumb that way. I was trying to be nice, but yeah, it's really dumb. And I've written to them. I've put it in forums. I have gotten goose egg response. 0 response from Etsy. I think that they could do a much better job at their system. So I do think that if you're a user, you have a voice, and so you can voice your concern. If that's something that you take up issue with, I would suggest that you write to them. So I try as best as I can on my end, and I kind of try work around. So when somebody's not able to respond or something, I just try and figure it out on my end. Anyway, but the book that I have is, oh, the PDF printed out nicely. Good, good, good. Yeah, and I made it to where it would print out that way. I had like page breaks in there so that it will print on regular paper. And that's why I made the book in the format it did. This is just like an 11.5 8.5 by 11 piece of paper size. And so like there was different options for sizes, but I wanted, basically the PDFs are identical to this, except, you know, and you could take your PDF and you could try and print like all the right facing pages. You could print them like all the odd pages, print on the front side, and then have your printer print all the even pages on the back side, and then it would be a smaller, you could get it bound up if you wanted it in, like, say, a spiral or something. And actually there's plenty of this this room here that's called the gutter. There's plenty of gutter in the middle to do like a spiral bound. But this was what I thought was the most cost effective. Thank you, Debbie. This is crocheted, and it's just a chain stitch. And I know, Debbie, that you can do a chain stitch. I know, because I know you. You could totally do it. I'm actually going to try and show how to do this. I'm thinking I was going to do it maybe next week or the week after, but I'm thinking about making a jewelry tutorial on the crochet day on Thursday this week. What do you guys think of that? So let me know, write jewelry if you like that idea. Jewelry Thursday, or if you'd rather me do it next week, tell me next week. We may take a quickie vacation next week, so some of my my broadcasts might be in odd places. It won't be from my studio here. What you see in the back behind me is what I call my studio, which is just my front room. It's kind of an open room. It would be a formal living area, but who uses those these days? And then kind of this side over here is my dining room, which you've seen me do some videos in before. You put them in page protectors and in a binder. Very good. That's great, Ellie. Perfect. I'll tell you guys. Oh, I thought I heard the door. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I getting a package? I'll tell y'all a little secret, and for whoever else watches this afterward, but I'm going to work on an accompanying workbook. Is anyone interested in a workbook, like with perforated pages? Jewelry. All right, Ellie. A book to go along with this, and it would have things to help you throughout the year, and it can last longer than that too, but it would have some tear out pages in it, so it works in company, or you could just have it separate. And so it wouldn't be near as much as, I would keep the price down, so it wouldn't be near as much as this, and it would be all black and white, so it would be the more cost effective. So anyway, that's something that I'm working on. So anyway, let's see what else to tell you. Any other questions people had business wise, or Q&A for me in general? Hooray for the workbook. Lisa. Oh, and you're a teacher. Lisa's a teacher. Did you ever talk to Good. Did you ever talk to your library? I know y'all are about to start up school again, but if you give them the ISBN, it'll be in the Ingram order system, and they can order that up real easy for your school, for your kiddos. So maybe you can use it for your class. So anyway, I would love to get in the hands of schools for special classes and special needs. I think it would be pretty cool. Another thing I think it would be neat is if kids with special needs, if they did end up getting their hands on one, it'd be really nice. So I'm dropping my book. It'd be nice because if they took it home to their parents, who maybe don't know how to do it, but then their parents could learn, and then they could be an added asset to the kids and helping them with anything. So yeah, Girl Scouts, that would be good. You'll do that Wednesday? Yay, at school. Awesome about the workbook. Awesome, awesome. Do y'all want to hear what's in it? I keep it a secret. I'm going to keep it a secret. Anyway. Let's see. Okay, so it's Q&A. You guys ask me questions. If I did not answer your question to how you wanted Jane, let me know. Hey, Amy, hello. Yes, I thank you for saying Amy. I would not have been able to read that. Where are you, Amy? Or where are you from? What do you use to video your hands? Good question. Do you use a headlamp type camera? You give each of your kids a set of looms. Oh, that's awesome, Lisa. Oh, that's wonderful. I wish I had a way to get you some more from somebody. Let me think about that. Ellie, that's a good question. Hey, y'all, I have kids in the background, so tell me if you can hear them too much. I wore these on purpose. So, okay, so Ellie, that's a good question. There's multiple ways to do it. I'll tell you how I started, which you're going to laugh, and then I'll tell you the way I do it now, and it still is not the same as other people. There is a video. I'll have to find it and maybe put it in the comments later, or Google it in YouTube or search it in YouTube. But there is a video for someone making video. I'm trying to remember the name of it. If I think of the name of it, I will put it in the comments. But there's a video that shows like a couple of different options of setups for videoing your hands to do tutorials. A lot of people will like mount it above their heads. If I was doing it the right way, this ceiling up here, now like I said, this is my front room. I don't even have a light in this room, so I have to use a softbox light. Oh, I don't have mine up, so I can't even show you. But one of those square ones that kind of pops back in the back, and it's on a stand. It has this fluorescent white light in, and it has a diffuser over the top.
There was another one.
Oh, I can't even reach my diffuser. I was going to give it to you. Anyway, this is this white translucent thing that fits over the front. That keeps it from being glaring, but I'll use one or two of them and lit from two sides. But anyway, and then the camera would be mounted above with a bar. I don't have that, and sometimes people would have a separate monitor. That's a big setup, especially for somebody who can't afford it, right? Putting your soda down. Are my Kristen-isms making you spit out your drink? Anyway, okay, so I'll tell you what I started with. What I started with was sitting on my nursing chair, one of those gliding chairs, the rockers, and then I had the glider footstool in front of it, and it would wobble. But I started with it was a tripod that has the part where you screw in your camera, but it wasn't working with the camera. Back up. My first 3 videos, I used a old school what's it called, a mini DV camera, 8mm. It was one from like the year 2000. It was a Canon, and it had poor quality. It was terrible, and I still get people mad at that video to this day. I really need to redo it, and I haven't. I've had 5 years to redo it, and I haven't. But I did those like shot on my dining room table, and it was so awkward. I can't even tell you how awkward that was. So, and like I got a cramp in my side and my back doing that. The second way I did it, which is the way I did it for at least a year, whenever you saw the all my videos that show that paisley design, that's kind of like a give me a love if you know the paisley design videos I'm talking about. That was kind of brown and like multiple colors anyway, and like these big paisleys. Anyway, that's my footstool. And so I had a tripod set above it with a bamboo spoon, like rubber banded to cantilever. Okay, so like this is the tripod to the side of my, okay, here's my ottoman. Here's my tripod to the side. Here's a bamboo spoon with a big, it was like one of those hair bands that's like, it's a rubber band, but it's big like for a rubber band hairband. And that was like wound around several times. And so the cantilever, and then I had an iPhone 3 balanced on top of this spoon, and in such a way that it supported most of the weight, and then the camera part, the lens, was like kind of peeking over the side of it. And then yeah, I'm a little busy to redo, and it was peeking over the side of it, and so you could see just that top part. And I had to like I had to sit like with my legs like out wrapped around. I have long legs, and so they were like way around. I'm like hovered around, and then I'm hunched over like this, okay? And so I'm looking through the viewfinder of my phone down at my hands, and I'm doing this. Hey, welcome to Good Night Kisses. I'm your host, Kristen. Blah, 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 blah. Every so often, stretching. So that's how all my videos were that had the little paisley thing. Feel free to laugh at me now. And everybody was like, what are you using? Oh my goodness. Like, tell us your setup. You must have a fancy setup. I'm like, I'm embarrassed to tell you my setup. Thanks for the hearts and laughs. I love it. Okay, so fast forward. So when I started making money with videos, and let's just clear something up. You do not, and there are some YouTubers who are misinformed. I will tell you, there's some craft video YouTubers who are misinformed, so don't get me wrong, but they think that you get paid per view on videos. You don't. Oh, Susie, people have no idea how awkward some setups we go through. Yeah, Susie makes some videos, and it can be very awkward. So anyway, but you don't get paid for views. However, the more views that your video has and comments, like it's called engagement. So like when there's comments and people are sharing it, you know, and it's being researched and found more often, that produces something in the algorithm that YouTube and Google have together, because they work hand in hand, because you're actually paid by Google. And so the more popular that is, and no, likes and dislikes don't count, and people think they do. And I'm laughing only because for some reason there's several Illuminators, and I really don't know who it is, but because I found that people who I thought maybe might have been doing it, they are having the trouble too. But there's like a person or persons, like as soon as the video comes out, immediately it'll get a dislike. And it's like, okay, that just came out and it's a long video, and how can you dislike it with, like, I just put it out. Like, I don't even know they had time to like watch it. And so I'm like, it's just a hater, you know, whatever. And so, but anyway, yeah, likes and dislikes don't count. People think they do. Now, it is psychological for a person searching for a video to watch the video or not watch the video, or hit like or hit dislike. It's psychological. Learned something new, didn't you? So, but the way you get paid, oh, nice to meet you. Good night. I think it was Amy. I didn't hear where she was from. Hey, Amy. Yeah. Okay. Bye, Amy. Okay. Sorry. I had to scroll through. So yeah, the YouTubers most times state to like and subscribe. Yes, we want you to like it. Liking helps me know if you like it. Okay. So I like to know if you like it. Now, dislikes don't. The reason why I laughed is because I think some people think that they're going to force the video to be a bad video and not get popular if they hit dislike. But really, it's a temperature gauge for us, any YouTuber, to say, wow, I'm getting feedback. Okay, people do like this. I'm going to keep creating content that's like this, a video. Content is just what you're watching. So yes. And then we want you to subscribe because, and more subscribers also helps the algorithm. Okay. And subscribers actually, okay, so I have about 20 million views, like total in the lifetime, what was called the lifetime of my channel from the start to now. The lifetime of my channel is about 20 million views. Okay. Or yeah, 20 or 21 million. I forget what the number it is. So if you look at that ratio to the subscribers I have, only about 5%. Last I checked. Hey, Carol. Okay, we got Nikki, we got Carol, and we've got Louisa on, who are admins. So if you see the Goodnight Kisses name pop up, you're going to have a variety. Yeah, wowzers, Debbie. So like the ratio is only about 5% of viewers are actually my subscribers. So if but I want people to subscribe who want more of my content, because then I know, and it's, you know, I can tell, I think I can see, yeah, per video, I can tell people who subscribe and who unsubscribe. So I can tell which videos are getting more interest of people subscribing. And that tells me, it's like a temperature to me. So I can go back, I have to choose to go back and look at it. But when and if I go back and look at it, I go, oh, people don't like me making this type of video and they're unsubscribing. But when I make this type of video, people are subscribing. So it's not to get more subscribers or to get more likes, but like if I want to keep the audience going who enjoy what I'm making, then, and I want to keep making videos to cater to that, then I need to pay attention to what people want, right? And so if I make a video about loom knitting and then I make a video about needle knitting, and all of a sudden my numbers, I start getting a ton of subscribers on needle knitting and I get a little bit of subscribers on loom knitting, I need to make more of these videos, right? So that's why I'm kind of balancing things out. And it's like, because whenever I make crochet videos, it jumps up too. And then I also have loom knitters who are like, oh, I'd love to try crochet, or I'd love to try knitting, but I just don't know how to start. And then I do that because it's a pain point, because I started loom knitting first before I was needle or crochet. Well, when I was younger, I was taught how to crochet by a great aunt who lived way too far away, so I couldn't like continue. So technically I learned when I was a kid, but I didn't pick it back up until I was an adult. Good morning, Darcy, welcome. The first retreat crew is here. Yes, Debbie. Yeah, we've got Carol, Nikki, Debbie, Louisa, myself. We got 5. Hands up if you went to the retreat in 2012. It was, anyway, so I don't know if that helps answer some of those questions. I'm trying to remember who was asking that. Hey, Lori! Welcome. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what time I was supposed to do this. I'm supposed to go check on my cookies here in a little bit. My reminder is not up yet, so it's still baking. I can continue going. I'm so glad you came on before I was off. I think you come on at the very end sometimes, and that's okay. Kristen! Hey, if anything that I've said so far is helpful, please give me a love button. If you're new, type new, like new to the live feed. Tell me where you're from. I'd love to know. And if you're joining me later in what I call the replay, please answer the questions as they come to you, because I'll watch this back later on and catch some of that. And when I hit like later on from the comments and everything, it's because I went back and I read some of them, or you know, whatever, and I'll try and answer them. I can't get to everything, but I'll try. And tomorrow, just to go, hey, Janet from Ohio, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Let me know if you have a question, Janet, okay? Today, I'm just Q&A really on anything, but I seem to be asked so many business questions last week that I'm happy to continue that conversation. And so I was doing social media last week, so it's sort of a continuing on. I think it's actually good that I'm doing Friday social media and then Q&A Monday, because then I can definitely get to the follow-up. Stephanie, Jacksonville, Florida, welcome. So glad you're here. So, do they smell done? They're starting to smell good. So that means we're getting closer. They have to do like this golden, this golden brown. And there's a kind of a sweet spot when cooking them. I know that I had cooked like a half batch. We're making Scottish shortbread cookies in the other room, by the way, if you're just tuning in. But I had made like a half batch, and I thought it was only going to take 45 minutes last week, and it took, or what, 5 days ago. Anyway, it took like a full hour. Oh, and that is my buzzer telling me that it's turning off my oven. All right, cool. So, do they smell done? I'm going to go check on them real quick, and I'm going to let you... Do you mind if I walk away and then come back, or do you want me to send you some? I know. Well, I have 4 kids in the house right now, so I'm not sure that it'll last because they're going to have a little tea party, so I do need to take it out. But I'm going to let you see... what am I going to let you see? Let's see. You're going to focus on the screen. Hold on. I'm going to give you a look. Just a second. This is my computer screen. I'm going to put it in the way here. All right. Y'all look at my screen. Whoops. I'm hitting the pole here. All right. Thank you for your patience. I did not intend to do that. All right, I'm flipping out. Did y'all have a good conversation? Yeah, I checked my cookies. So, they look good. Oh, and I've done some cooking videos. Do y'all want the Scottish shortbread recipe in a video? Write shortbread in the comments if you would. Also, you know what? I taped one a long time ago. You know how many videos that I've actually got at what's called in the can, but I've never produced them. I have a lemon icebox pie recipe that I still have yet to put out there. Anyone made a wire tree of life wall hanging? I don't know. Is that Nikki or Carol or Louisa asking? Yes, indeed. Yes, shortbread. Shortbread. Awesome. 3 ingredients. I'm actually thinking of making a gluten-free one. I'm not sure if that'll work, but I would need to get a gluten-free flour. Do they make gluten-free butter? I'm not a gluten-free person, so I don't know if you have to get a special butter or a special sugar. Anyone know? I don't know. I just know that's a thing. Shortbread, shortbread. And then if you like lemon icebox pie, right, pie. Eggs, butter, flour. We don't no eggs in the shortbread. It's just butter, flour, and sugar. Oh, Carol. I don't know what the wired tree of life is. I don't know what that is. I probably could Google it. Pie, food. The pie, my family's been making for I don't know how long, but it's good. And the pie is like it's a no bake thing. Okay. And it's bring on the pie. I'll tell y'all I could tell you all the recipes, but I'll make a video of them. First up, the shortbread. Okay. So your oven's at 275. I have to run mine about 10 degrees higher. So I run mine at 285 for an hour. So I let it preheat. 275 takes about 5 minutes to preheat too. So in that time, you can actually make your batter and but it could take longer. If you make a half a batch, it would take 5 minutes. If you take a full batch, it might take a little longer, especially the first time you do it. What you do is you put in your butter and your sugar and you blend it with your hands. Okay, so you use 1 pound of butter, or that's 4 sticks or 8 half sticks. Okay, so 1 box. I use Land O'Lakes salted butter. You can use unsalted. I like Land O'Lakes because it's the best to me. And I do brand names when it comes to certain baking things because I think they do the best. And I like real butter and not margarine. So anyway, and then you do half a cup of sugar, and then you mix it with your hands. It's a hand recipe. Yeah. Have a paper towel handy. But you mix it up in your bowl and get that all incorporated, like smushed, play it like Play-Doh. It's great to do with kids. Just make sure their nails are trimmed and clean before you start. Gluten-free butters, Land O'Lakes, Earth Balance, Smart Balance, and Organic Valley. Thank you, Ellie. Good to know. Okay, I'd like to try a gluten-free one because I want to see how it tastes. Whoops, I have several friends that can only do gluten-free, and I would love to put together a recipe for them to try, so that would be good. And then, okay, so then you want to add in your flour. So, I'm sorry, it's 1 cup of sugar. 1 cup of sugar, 1 stick of butter, one pound of butter, so it's 4 sticks. And then 4 cups of flour, but you add it in at half cups at a time. So after you mix your butter and your sugar together, then you put in the cups. I do level cups, so like I put in a cup and I level it off. So I do a half cup, level it off, throw it in, mix it up. Half cup, level it off, throw it in, mix it up. So, and then you get 4 of them. So when I have kids do it, like this morning, I split it. And so I did 2 sticks of butter and a half a cup of sugar and 2 cups of flour in one bowl, and then the other. And then once they're all mixed and incorporated, I mix them together. And then you squish it out on a baking sheet. You squish it out. The recipe is a 1/2 inch thick, but mine is never like quite a 1/2 inch when I do with a cookie sheet that I have. And so you make it all flat, and then you just take a fork and kind of perforate and do lines across it, and then do lines across it again, like diagonally, and they can make these harlequin shapes, and then cut them all in half to make triangles. So you can make triangles, you can make squares, whatever, but I basically perforate them so when it comes out of the oven, it sort of gives you a guideline as to how to cut it, and it makes it easier to cut so that they're not squished. And you're very lactose, and all of these butters are very tasty. Oh, you can't have the butter? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have a mild milk allergy, but it's not the lactose. It's just, I get like flu symptoms if I have too much. So, and I can't have bananas either. If I have bananas and milk in the same 24-hour period, I get like massive flu symptoms, like really bad for like a couple of weeks. It's awful. So I just basically don't have any bananas unless I'm on some sort of dairy-free diet at the time, and then I can have bananas all I want. So I know, kind of weird trivia. Okay, the pie is really good. Oh, and you bake for an hour. Land O'Lakes is your go-to butter for baking too. Yeah, nice lines for cutting. Yeah. And then, okay, so the pie, so good. Again, this is not a gluten-free or diabetic recipe, y'all. This is just good stuff, okay? So sorry if you can't have it, but this is it. So I just get a large pie crust. You can do a small, but I like to get to the large of a graham cracker pie crust. So a large pie. And, or you can do like the custard cup sizes with the graham cracker crust inside. Those are good for multiples. And then just get out a nice bowl, get out your nice spoon. You're going to put in your sweetened condensed milk. I use like the reduced fat, like the Worden's. I think there's a green label one. You can use the regular one or the I just use the reduced. It tastes the same. And then I mix in frozen pink lemonade. If you have like the little short concentrated short ones, you can use one of those, or for the tall cans you can use a half of one. And so I mix those up real good and then put in a softened Cool Whip. So if you have something that's like Cool Whip or like an off-brand, mix that whole container in. And once it Yeah, literally no ice cream, pizza. Yeah, all the great stuff. Yeah, that sucks. Um, yeah. So anyway, you mix in like a Cool Whip and just totally incorporate it. Once it's like all goopy and totally blended, and you may have to smash it if you didn't let the Cool Whip or whatever the equivalent of that generic. If you don't smash it up enough, you'll have like chunks and stuff. So I set it out, put it in the refrigerator about an hour before I try doing it. Brewers has lactose-free chocolate ice cream. Oh, that's good to know. Oh, Breyers. I was like, what's Brewers? Anyway, then you just pour that in your pie crust and freeze it until it's hard. That's it. It's hard to take to parties, but if you have like a deep freeze and can get it pretty hard, and then you pack it on ice and then take it to a party, it's a hit. It's real good. So cut it thin for small pieces for people, or cut it in a regular size piece, but it's a good icebox pie. You don't have to do any other kind of stuff. So mix it and throw it in there. And actually, it's a good one, like if you make a bunch at a time and throw them in your freezer, then you can keep them on hand for when you want to serve it. And what I do is the plastic part that comes on the inside, I just flip it over like the dome, which many people know how to do that. I just flip it over and take the little paper out, and then I've got it. And you can write on the dome like what date you made it, like permanent marker. So anyway, all right, well, I'm gonna go check on my shortbread. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and be sure and of course, like this page and make sure that you get the updates. I'll give you a little tip, and it's also a business tip if you've got your own business craft page, but let people know, and I'm gonna let you know, if you will, if you're on someone's business page, or you can do this for your friends too, where it says following, if you click it again, it gives you 3 options, and on the right side it will say see first, and the middle is default, and then I forget what the other one is, but it might be like don't show it in the browser or something, I don't know. But if you'll go to see first, then whenever you turn on Facebook, your feed will show the people that you've told to see first. So that's great for like certain family members you want to see really quickly. Maybe you have a brother that lives far away and you're like want to see what he's up to and don't want to miss it in your feed, then do that. If you'll put me on see first, then you'll see it as soon as you pop up. And anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow back for loom knitting, and then Wednesday will be knitting, and then Thursday will be crochet, and back to social media on Friday. A wonderful day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.